I'm Sari Kimball, and I've done just about everything in the food industry. I have helped hundreds of packaged food business entrepreneurs, and now I want to help you make your delicious dream a reality. Whether you want to be successful at farmers markets, online, or wholesale onto store shelves, food business success is your secret ingredient. I will show you how to avoid an expensive hobby and instead run a profitable food business. Now let's jump in. Hey there, welcome back to the podcast. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so fun. You guys are going to love this episode. And I want to share some money observations first, and then we're going to talk with Erica and get a follow-up and talk about some of her money thoughts and money mindset that have shifted. So good. But first, I want to remind you about the farmers market workshop that's coming up. Make more money, increase your sales, which is so perfect when we're talking about generosity. But there are strategies to help you increase your sales at a farmers market. So I was asked to put this on for David Craybill with Forager and share this with his members, but I, of course, want to open it up to everybody. So $17 investment, come on, right? Like if this really helps you make hundreds, thousands of dollars more when you're giving your precious time, investing your precious time at a farmer's market, that is a great investment. So go over to foodbizsuccess.com/more sales. And if you're listening to this afterwards, you can still go and get the replay. So just head over to that same website. All right. Let's dive in, and I want to talk about some money kind of follow-ups from the generosity as a strategy and some additional thoughts I wanted to offer that I think can be really helpful for you as an entrepreneur, as someone who wants to create a profitable packaged food business, right? Whether you haven't launched yet or you are launched and you're like, how do I do this? What's going on, right? So first, let me just check in here. The title of this podcast and the fact that I'm talking about money, does that make you uncomfortable? Are you feeling some discomfort right now? You're like, oh. Well, first of all, thank you for listening anyway, even if you're not totally comfortable talking about money. But I will say, money is hard to talk about. I am a little bit nervous myself, to be totally honest. I carry my own money thoughts and beliefs, and whether it's like gauche to talk about money. But here's the thing. A business is an exchange of money for value. And so we got to start talking about it more. We need to learn to be okay with making money and that it is a good thing. When more good people have money, we can do more good in the world. So if this topic makes you a little bit uncomfortable, that's okay. You can be uncomfortable, but I hope that something shifts for you just a little bit, that you maybe can shake something loose in your belief system, or even just be open to questioning, like, is how I believe about money, is that really true? Because as entrepreneurs, we have a responsibility and obligation to manage our minds better than most people about money. When you go to a 9-to-5 job, whatever hours that is that you work, and you're getting a paycheck, you don't have to question your money beliefs the same way you do as an entrepreneur. So I think it's really important that we talk about it, even if it's a little bit scary for me, a little bit uncomfortable, feels a little vulnerable, but we're going to just jump in here. And I want to talk about some money thoughts, some kind of money observations that I have had as I have significantly grown my own business and also helped clients significantly grow their business. I have clients making more money than they ever thought possible. They came in with a goal, and we have blown those goals out of the water. And it's just been so fun to watch their brains explode a little bit and see what is possible for their business. And they've done it without working harder, without killing themselves, right? It's like there have been shifts in their mindset that have allowed for more growth, faster, easier. It's just so cool to be a part of. That's why I am a coach. That is why I feel like, yeah, I can give you the how, I can give you all the tactics and strategy, but for every business owner, there is skill set, which is knowing all of those details, the legal, the financial, your COGS, your, production, go-to-market strategies, all of that good stuff. But then there is mindset, right? And so we have to apply both of those and then action. So I look at those 3 pillars anytime I'm coaching people. And sometimes people need more skill set and their mindset is really good, really clean. And then sometimes it's that they need action, right? They know all the skills, they have all the skills, but they're not putting it into action. So today, I am following up with Erica Benjamin of Southern Girl Granola. A couple weeks ago, you can go back and listen to her story of the Generosity Challenge and how that really changed. I mean, you guys, it doesn't take forever to make a shift in your life, to make a decision. A decision is like, it's a quick thing. It's a snap of your fingers. You can make a decision, a new decision right now. But we tend to be like, oh, I got to this is going to take months for something to change, right? As an example, totally not money related, I used to smoke in my 20s. Not super proud of it, but this is reality, right? I smoked, I waited tables. It was a way to connect with others. It was a way to numb out, all these things. When I was turning 30 and I just decided, like in an instant, right? A snap of fingers, I just said, I do not want to be a woman in my 30s who still smokes. I don't want to be that identity anymore. And I just literally decided I'm quitting. And I did. And that's it, right? And now I think, can you believe I used to smoke? Like, that is so far from my identity. So now you have the opportunity, especially around money. I mean, you can do this in any part of your life, but you can just decide, I'm a person who makes money. I'm a business owner who has a successful, thriving, profitable business. And it's got to start in your mind first, and then we start taking action. So I want to offer just a couple of thoughts. I had a couple of emails after the Generosity as a Strategy podcast. And one thing that came back was, hey, generosity is great and all, but that can't be like the foundation of your business. I've seen too many businesses just give and give and give, but their foundations weren't strong. And so ultimately that's not a great strategy. And I would say, listen, you gotta have, I really truly believe generosity is the strategy for success in your business. But yes, you absolutely need good foundations. This is like building a house. We got to have a great foundation, and then we put up all the walls and all of the plumbing and all of the other things. So, I really think, we need our cost of goods sold dialed in. We need a path to profitability. We need a great product. We need great branding. We need to be legal. We need all of those things. We got to build the business, right? And that's exactly what we do inside Food Business Success, or I help people one-on-one with that who want that, personalized attention. But we do that inside Food Business Success. That is exactly what that program is designed for, to help you build the foundation really solid. And then we apply generosity as a strategy. Then we open our business up and our lives up and our mindset up to, I'm going to go out and provide the most value in the world and give generously without expectation. And then let's just see what happens, how it all comes back but the key is it's got to be without expectation, right? So it's really truly got to come from a place of true selfless giving. So yes, we need strong foundations, 100%. I want to offer that money, we put so much emphasis and there's so many thoughts going around, and I really want you to check your beliefs. Try to step back, be an observer of your thoughts around money, because a lot of us are carrying around some pretty nasty baggage around money. I heard that your money mindset, your money beliefs, and a belief is just a thought we keep thinking, but that money belief is sort of formed by age 7. What? And, if you layer in, if you're a woman, oh my gosh, like we have some pretty rough money thoughts. I mean, men are sort of socialized to make money. That is what their role is. And then women tend to have more of like, money will take away from my family. I'm selfish if I make money. It's not my job to make money. Like we got some extra layers of baggage, but we all have some money beliefs that we've been carrying around. And I just want you to check those at the door. Do you have thoughts? I asked Erica in this interview, if money were a person, what would your relationship look like? Describe that person. And oftentimes she did a great job. I totally put her on the spot. You'll have to listen to what she has to say. But many of us are like treating it like a relationship where we're like, I want more of you. I want more of you. Come. And then we're like, you're not good enough. That wasn't enough. You need to lose some weight, get some better clothes. Like we reject it and we push it away and we're not grateful for what does come. And we think that money is going to make us happy. And that is just not the case. We also have things like money is the root of all evil, right? We have like religious layerings in there. It doesn't help that that's like one of the 10 commandments. Or I don't even know. Sorry. Bible. Pretty sure it's one of the 10 commandments around money, right? So we also have things like if I make too much, people will judge me. I will be up for scrutiny. All right. We're just like really terrified of what other people think. And I know that really came up for me. I was just at a mastermind for my coaching program and I went up, and this is really scary even for me to like share with you. I don't know why it shouldn't be, but I am nervous about your judgment of me. But I have created a huge business and I want to be an example to you of what is possible, right? I'm going ahead of you. That's what a coach does, is they work on their stuff so that I can help you with your stuff. But I have created a huge business, well over 100K, a 6-figure business. And I received an award for that at Mastermind. And ultimately, like, no award is going to make me happy, right? It doesn't matter how much money I make. If I place my happiness of when I get there, it's going to be something I'm always chasing after. We have to be happy in the journey. We have to change that mindset because it's just a number, right? What is money anyway? It's pieces of paper that we've assigned value to, and it's numbers, zeros and ones in a bank account. It is energy. It flows. And I truly believe this is not about there is a pie that is the exact size, and then if I get more money, I'm taking away from somebody else making money. I really believe, and look at our society, it is expansive. We have grown the amount of money in our world immensely, right? We got off the gold. I mean, that's the whole thing, like getting off the gold standard. It's not tied to anything. I mean, now we have like Bitcoin and all this crypto things that are the next wave of how like money shifts. But there are more millionaires in the world than ever before. And we can just keep creating. We can expand the pie. What if that were true? What if you didn't need to come from a place of scarcity in your business, that you could, you don't have to oversave. You don't have to overspend, right? There's that mindset that I see my clients. There's either kind of two things, right? People who overspend, like they get a little bit of money and they're like, oh my gosh, I got to spend it because it's going to go away. And I don't know how to manage my money if I just have it sitting there. Or we oversave and we get really tight. We really lock down our money. And that was definitely, I know she's still working on it, but that was definitely Erica's experience. And the generosity challenge really changed that for her. So I'm excited to share her story. I think those were just a couple of thoughts I wanted to offer before we jump in. I want you to really step back, maybe spend a little bit of time, just 10 minutes, and write down, what are all the money messages that you got as a kid? Did you see your parents fighting about money? Was money always tight? Did you see people like really being frugal, like overly like crazy frugal and not spending anything? Or did you see people always spending as soon as it came in, and then they were always broke again? Because we don't want either of those patterns in our business, right? We got to break those patterns, because there are going to be times where we do need to spend money. We have to make investments to get to the next level. And there are times when we just need to have money in the bank account, and we need to not just go out and blow it as soon as it comes in. So we got to really change this now. This is your moment to recognize, especially if you're an entrepreneur, it is more important. When you're just getting a paycheck and it comes in like it's steady, there's a safety in there. And we are being unsafe as an entrepreneur. We are going out, and now it is on us, solely you as the entrepreneur, to create money. And a lot of times I see that people are like they have a great product, they have a great idea, they have all the foundations, and they launch and they put it out there, and then they like self-sabotage, and they put the reins on the business, they lock it down too tight, and they're sort of like, it's pulling against what needs to happen as an entrepreneur to really put yourself out there, and it slows everything down. So if you really want to speed up your business, the money that comes in, the just expansiveness of it, and create, I'm telling you guys, like opportunities will just start showing up that you're like, what? Like, it's not in this interview because it happened afterwards, but when Erica and I got on our weekly call, she said, you're never going to believe it, but a principal of a friend of mine reached out and placed an order for like 150 bags at full price. He didn't even want a discount for Teacher Appreciation Week. What? Like, I truly believe that kind of stuff, those opportunities are coming in because she has like opened herself up to possibility, and she is putting value out in the world. That is what money is. It's an exchange. As we grow a business, it's like putting value out in the world, and then people are willing to pay money for that. So the more you can put yourself out there with generosity and really take care of other people and support other businesses and support other people outside of your immediate circle, that's even better, right? And this, again, doesn't always have to be money. As with generosity as a strategy, go comment on like 10 other people's posts and cheer them on and participate in their giveaways, right? Before you are like, where's all of my comments on my social media posts? Why aren't people commenting on mine, right? Me, me, me. Get out of the me, me, me. And stop making it all about you and get out and go serve other people. And then watch your business and your world explode. So fun. All right, let's dive into this follow-up interview with Erica. You guys are going to love this. All right, you guys, I am so excited to bring Erica back on. She knows she's on the podcast this time.
Hey, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. So, Erica, I am so excited to talk to you about this, but why don't you just tell everyone kind of a little bit about you, your business, where you're at, those kind of good things.
All right. So again, I'm Erica. I am the CEO and head chef of Southern Girl Granola. I make, I like to call it gourmet granola. But I started my company about 4 or 5 years ago, and I just started making it as a snack for myself. And as I was trying to lose weight, I'm very into flavorful foods, and I like to snack a lot. So I lost about 90 pounds on my journey, and I shared this snack with a few of the ladies I was teaching Zumba back then. Shared it with them. They loved it. I had one flavor. Now I have 4, and I have varieties of nut-free, CBD, all kinds of stuff. And yeah, I've been doing it full time. I guess for about a year now. I got laid off 2 times during the pandemic. And I just decided that I was going to do this full time. And yeah, I've just been doing my absolute best to make sure that this is my sole source of income. And yeah, it's been an interesting journey, but I'm very grateful for every step of the way.
Nice. Yeah, we started working together one-on-one a couple months ago. And I say this about all my clients, but you are one of my favorite clients. I love our clients.
Of course, you say that about all of us.
I know. But I do really enjoy our calls and your learning, just helping you get to the next level in your business. So I know you say this is your full-time thing, but you do have another job right now, a contract job. So one of the things we've been working on together is how you're going to make that transition of like, this is it. I'm doing my full-time job as the granola, and we have a plan to scale up and go to the next level, wholesale and things like that. So you and I have been talking a lot about money and kind of getting our heads around that piece. And so I challenged you for the generosity challenge, and you shared your story on last week's 2 weeks ago podcast. But I'd love to hear follow up from that. Cause if you listen to the podcast, I did a little giveaway, wanted to give something back to you. And I just would love to hear like how that affected you and like how you're going to use generosity going forward is really the main question.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for that. I didn't know you were going to do that, and I wasn't expecting that. So thank you so much. And it's really, been so interesting. People have been placing orders. I've had about at least 20 orders with an average order value of about $54 on that. So I'm really grateful for that. And as people even place orders, they're like, hey, I am giving this as part of the generosity challenge. You just give this to somebody else. I'm not going to order it for myself, just give it away. And they are being generous as well. So thank you for that. And I've just been sitting back reflecting and saying, okay, so this is a valuable lesson that I've learned just across the board. And I've shared it with my friends. My friend just had a birthday party over the weekend, and I shared it. And everybody that I tell about this generosity challenge is just so inspired. It's just they're just so moved. And it's really starting a trend that honestly, I had never even considered. I will say, I consider myself to be a pretty generous person, but this is the next level of generosity to me, just to be more intentional about it. I'm kind of haphazardly generous, like, oh, you don't have enough money for your groceries, or you don't have enough to make the difference, or I'll pay the difference. I've never really paid for somebody's whole grocery order. And I did that Sunday too. Because now I know. Now, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like a whole family of 6 people. But I'm just looking for ways to be generous, because not just because I wanted to come back to me, but just because it is just such a great feeling to just help somebody out, not even knowing if they really need help. But it just turns out it touches them so deeply because a lot of times they really do just need help. So it's been really good. And I don't remember if I mentioned this on the last call that we recorded, but I ended up getting a free trip to Costa Rica. I couldn't go, but I did get a free trip to Costa Rica. I even got invited to go on a free trip to Belize. This has all happened in the last week or two since I did this generosity challenge. And I'm being completely 100% just blown away. And not until I lay down and I'm getting ready to write out my gratitude, because I've also started a gratitude journal. I wake up and write 10 things. I wake up and write 10 things that I'm grateful for. And I do it again before I go to bed. And I'm like, I believe that these things are starting to come to me because I'm starting to be more intentional about being generous. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to look for ways to be generous to perfect strangers, not just people that I love and care about, because that's the easy thing to do, to be generous to people that we love and care about. But to do it to perfect strangers and not get some type of immediate return or some immediate benefit from it, it's just been so gratifying, and it's just benefited me in ways that I didn't think it would.
Yeah. So how do you think, because the purpose of that podcast, and it fits so nicely with it, was, and your generosity challenge was generosity as a strategy. And actually somebody emailed me when I sent out the podcast email and said, well, that's all nice and good, but you still need to have like a good business model. And you still, and I was like, yes, of course. Like we don't want to, I mean, you and I have also worked on your pricing and making sure that you're profitable, right? Like we don't want generosity and that we're giving away our product, right? That's not what we're talking about here. But how do you think that energy of gratitude and just being like, oh my gosh, like there's all these random people who I've never met on the internet buying my granola, or trips coming, or whatever, like things are happening. How do you think that is changing how you're showing up in your business?
So, you had another podcast about inspiration, and I had a conversation with you about I was like, I'm not inspired anymore. Like I'm think I'm getting burnt out from having done this for so long, and the results are kind of stagnant. And I think I'm burnt out on the same level of success over the last several years. So I am now inspired, and it's not just because I'm benefiting from generosity. It's just that I'm like, you know what? This has lit a new fire in my excitement about my business, because the more that I have to be generous with, the more I can be generous. And it's just giving me more energy. It's giving me more creativity. It's giving me more discipline. It's giving me more focus to just make sure that, because I believe that this is part of my purpose in life, to have a business where I'm able to employ people, that I'm able to leave a legacy for my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. It's not just about serving people yummy granola and giving them a good, clean, healthy snack. It's about being the first person in my family to be an entrepreneur that's really going to do something big and impactful for my family, for my community, and just for, years and years to come. And that's what I am starting to keep at the forefront of my mind. I'm like, this can go on to be scholarships for, people who I will never meet, people who my children will impact positively. Like it's never ending. And that's now what I'm thinking about. Like it's just so much bigger than just giving people a $25 gift card and paying for somebody's fanny pack at a pop-up market or at a farmer's market. It just sparked so many different exciting ways to give, and so many possibilities for when I'm not even here anymore. So
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That you're creating. Yeah. Legacy is really the ultimate step in generosity, right? When you're long
absolutely.
gone and it continues to give. So
Yeah, exactly. And I mentor a young lady in who's in Johannesburg, Africa, and I contribute to her education. And so now what I've done is because I can only do so much, but now I'm like, okay, she needs more than I can provide her. And so I'm going to my friends and I'm like, hey, I want you to consider being generous on behalf of I call her my African daughter, because she's going to need help with her tuition. And I want you to consider, donating whatever you can on her behalf, because she is in school, she's got needs, and I
yeah.
want you to be able to do it. And I'm going to people that I know can and will, and I tell them about the generosity challenge, and I tell them how it can open doors for them, and I challenge them on her behalf. So it's not even just about me giving what I have. I am encouraging other people to give so that she can benefit from their generosity and they can benefit from their generosity. And it's just hopefully going to snowball, and they will just, again, inspire other people to be generous as well. And I
Yeah.
think, call me a dreamer, but it's going to really just potentially make the world a better place. I know that sounds kind
Right.
of funny, but it can.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, we have to start with our small world first, right? Like that's the only thing we really have impact on anyway. So we can want it to be better out there, but we have to start with our smallest, the people right around us that we can touch and we can.
That's right. If we don't have an impact on them, we may have some influence over them. And even if they say, oh, I don't want to be a part of that, or I'm not in a position to be a part of that, they'll at least think about it. And then maybe when they can or when they feel compelled to, they will. I don't even ever have to know about it. They don't even have to come and tell me.
Yeah.
But if I've sparked inspiration the way you sparked inspiration in me, then that's all that really matters.
Mm, it's so cool. It was so fun to like I was listening to your story and I'm like, I want to do something for you and
I
then just see what
appreciate it.
happened. And there might even be some gift codes on that post if people want to go check it
Uh,
out.
yeah, I wasn't
um,
expecting that. When you posted it, I
so
was like,
fun.
wait, what's happening?
I know. I was like, maybe I should have thought this out a little bit more, but I wanted it to be a surprise, and it was. Um,
Amazing.
and something. Well, I think two things. I think it also helps get you. Yeah, your energy goes up. I mean, I have never felt so much more fun than when I'm being generous, right? Like
That's
just
true.
your whole energy, you're like giddy, and it's even thinking about what doing for you, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. I was like telling everybody around me.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
Yeah,
having it's like anticipating Christmas or anticipating something, right? You get really excited and it's giddy, right? So fun, like your
absolutely.
energy goes up, your inspiration. And I think it just gets you out of your own little all about me, right? And like my business and what's going wrong and why aren't
Yeah,
people buying and and it's like
yeah,
gets you out of yourself. Like let's
yeah.
get
And
out of
I
our
already
little
get
pity party.
excited when I get orders. Like every time my phone dings and it's the order, and I'm like, oh, I got an order. But during, that challenge, I was like, oh, it's from the giveaway. It's from the giveaway. Oh my goodness, and it was new customers, because most of my orders are repeat business, and it was exciting to see new customers coming in, and they would email me and say, "Hey, I heard about you from the generosity giveaway," and a couple of them emailed me, and they were like, "Sorry, so great, and isn't she awesome? And she's so amazing." And I was like, "I agree, she's awesome, and she's so inspirational, and I'm so grateful for her." And
Oh,
it was just really nice to just interact with people, and they were excited about it. I could tell that they were excited about it, and they wanted to let me know, how excited they were about being generous. And I'm telling you, it lit a fire under everybody involved. So it
yeah,
was amazing.
love it.
Something so simple.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't much. So if you don't mind sharing, because people might be like, well, okay, clearly you have money to give. And we talked about that a little bit, right? Like it's not like you're, wealthy running around. I mean, whatever wealthy is defined at, but you and I have talked about, I mean, neither one of us came from wealth and that feeling of safety. And I've been thinking a lot about safety and money. And I think, especially as women and women entrepreneurs, right? It's very scary when you go to be like, this is my job. Like, this is how I'm paying my bills and this is how I'm supporting my family. And so what has been your journey, or how do you think that's changed from where you were before, where there was a lot of scarcity and a lot of like, I got to hold this really tight?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was scarcity. So, I shared with you because I did, when I got laid off, I was only supporting my family with Southern Girl Granola for about 8 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, you know what? I could at least take a contract job. Like, I'm not going to go back to work full time. I'm going to take this contract job just to make sure, that I've got everything covered and I don't have to worry as much. And I'm going to be honest. I didn't have to do it, honestly, because I had a little bit of money in savings, but I got scared. And I said, I just can't imagine what's going to happen if I can't pay this mortgage or if I can't pay this electric bill. So I took the contract job. And I will say, once I did that, I took my focus off my business 100%. And it did impact my sales, it impact my focus, it impact everything that I was doing for my business. And I kind of, as you say, I was being an asshole to myself for doing that, because I was, you shouldn't have done that. You were going, everything was going great. It was going good. You should have just stayed focused. But, I don't regret it because it has helped. But I also am at a place where I have more money in the bank than I ever have in my life. It's not a lot. Don't misunderstand
Right.
me.
No, I get it. I shared like when I had $1,000 in my savings account, I was like, I've never had this much money in my life.
Exactly. And you said, so what's a comfortable amount for you to make you say I'm comfortable? And I was like, I don't even know if I could think of an amount that's going to make me say I'm comfortable. But, you specifically made me focus on the money that I earned for my business. And I was so like, I don't want to spend anything from that. I don't want that to decrease, because I have great pride in that amount of money, because I've never had that amount of money in an account before. And I don't want to start spending it, and I don't want it to start decreasing. So I'm just going to leave it there and not touch it. And that's when you were like, yeah, so I want you to do the generosity challenge, and I want you to take the money from that account.
The money's got to come from the business.
I was like, no, I'm going to just take it from my personal account. You're like, no, take it from that account. And I was really glad you said that, because to be honest with you, I don't worry as much anymore about any of it. And it's not like, again, it is, trust me, some of you, if you heard this amount of money, you'd be like, girl, you need to worry. But I don't worry. And I was even able to, my daughter's going on a trip to Florida with the band. I paid for that trip, just cash, without even having to worry. Like, and normally, I'm gonna be honest, normally I would call her dad and be like, hey, you need to contribute some money to this trip. Like, you need to put something on it. I didn't even ask and didn't even care whether he did or not. So I just worry less, because I know there's a universal law of sowing and reaping. Mm-hmm. If you're going to reap what you sow. And I've sown even prior to the generosity challenge, right? I realized I've sown into people, whether it be time, whether it be attention, whether it be, I've sown things. And now I'm being more intentional about sowing money and planting seeds from my business account. So I know that I'm going to reap. And so I don't have to worry about it. Because if you think about it, that's really what faith is, right? Mm-hmm. And I have just started to tell myself, I've never really I've struggled, like, right? I've never really had to hit rock bottom. I've never been evicted. I've had my electricity cut off before, right? But not for weeks, only for a couple of days.
Right, right.
But I can just eliminate the worry part. Like, I can say, okay, here's the issue. I know it's going to get resolved. I'm going to eliminate the worry part because that's the unnecessary part. Because you and I have talked about worry as well, right? So I eliminate the worry and I'll just look for the solution and I just trust that the solution is going to come because it always does. Like, the solution has never not shown up on the scene. Like, hey, girl, here I am.
Right.
You know?
Right. Like, why do we think that one time it's not going to happen when every time if we have our own backs and we go in saying, I'm going to figure it out. I mean, we can go into any business and be worry, but the results that you're going to produce are very different and a lot harder results than just like, I'm going to figure it out.
And it's not like I'm kicked back saying, you know, I'm just going to wait for it to happen. No, I'm doing the work.
No. Yeah. You are definitely taking action. And you guys should definitely check out her social media. She's doing a lot of fun stuff.
That's how I know it's going to happen because, it's a universal principle. So, again, I'm eliminating the worry and I'm just waiting for the solution to show up on the scene because that's just how it's going to happen. And that's how it's always happened.
Yeah.
So,
I think one thing we did, and I just, we've talked, I mean, it's one thing to be like, it's all going to be great. Like, it's a thought, you have a belief, a faith. I think that's part of it. And that's a great, like, our safety is only created in our thoughts, right? Which is kind of maybe mind blowing, but like, we decide, right? No amount of money, you could have $1 million in the bank. And there are people with millions of dollars in the bank who still feel unsafe, who still worry about money, right? It's going to be taken away at any minute. Or what if I can't make any more? It doesn't matter the amount of money. It's our thoughts about it, right? And so practically what we did is, okay, the contract job is coming up and I'm all for like doing work like that to kind of create a padding and some runway because we need our basic living necessities. And you've done that. But we said, let's just take this amount of money and this just goes into savings. And this is our safety net. Really, it's a safety net, right? And so now we can drop the worry about spending our business money because we have to spend some amount of money in our business.
I got to.
So I think it's a really big step for you. And a thought I've been working on, and I don't know how it lands with you, but I am safe in my success.
Oh, wow. I like that. I am safe in my success. You know, what's interesting, I don't know. Okay, so this kind of goes back to the same theory of the millionaire, right? I don't know if I would say I'd call myself successful just yet, but you're right. You're right. I am at a level of success. There are levels to it, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I have achieved a certain level of success. You're right. So I'm safe in my success.
And that it is safe to be there every time. And this is, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like in Gay Hendricks' book, The Big Leap, he talks about that we hit an upper limit. And so there's we kind of have this natural thermostat. So wherever you've been raised, like there was a limit to your lifestyle. There was a limit to how much money you could make, right? And so every time you go beyond, you push beyond that, it's really scary. It's uncomfortable for us as human beings. And so creating safety to push beyond, I mean, like you said, I've never had this much money in my bank account. And I can say that for myself too. Like I've never had that much money in my bank account. And then sometimes we can get really scared and like, we just got to hold on really, really tight because we don't want it to go away. But in order for us to keep growing and go to the next level and take your business even bigger, right? Like, I am safe in success. Like, I am safe in creating more money. More money is always coming.
Always coming. That's right. I
Yeah.
was just looking at this journal that is a law of attraction journal.
Mm.
And every day you write these different affirmations and what you want to attract. And I ordered it. So I'm going to start operating in more of the things that I want to attract. And more success is one of those things. And so just what more success would look like to me is one of the things that I'm trying to consider and develop a thought process around, like exactly what would the next level of success look like. And then once I get there, it'll be the next level of success. And that's how Nabisco was built,
How any of them were built. Like, they're all built. You look at any of these small brands that are now big brands, they all start from somewhere, and it's just a little step at a time, and just keep. But you got to be willing to take the next step and to make the investment and go all in, right? Because again, it's very uncomfortable. Like, your brain's telling you, like, no, we're good. Just hang out here.
Yeah, my brain's saying, do you know how much work is involved in that? Like, and you're 50, like you're on the other side, you're coming down the hill. Like, so are you really willing to do all that work? And it's a valid question. And I'm like, hey, I'm willing, but you gotta also have a team. You gotta start working on your team and getting it all in line. So yeah, it's just about wrapping your mind around what it's gonna take, getting the people in place that are gonna help you get there, and just doing the work to get there. Yeah. So it's exciting. It's wonderful.
I'm so excited for your next level of growth, and I see amazing things in your future. So
I have no doubt. And there may be moments of worry, but I'm still telling myself, don't worry about that. Yeah. Success is going to show up on the scene. Yep. So just look for success to show up on the scene, do what you're supposed to do. And yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about worry being like, okay, well, what can I control? Is there anything that I'm worried about that I can control? Take action on that. And the rest of it is out of my control. So I can either have some fun along the way, or I can spend it in a ball.
Have a nervous breakdown before success even gets here. Who wants that?
That's right.
I don't.
I love it. What would you say your if you were to describe, I don't know, I didn't prompt you for this, so I'm curious, we can edit this out if it's terrible, but if you were to describe your relationship with money as if it were a person, how would you describe your relationship?
That's a good one. So I would probably describe my relationship with money. So maybe as so say it's a guy, right? Mm-hmm. That maybe from my past that I always thought was really attractive.
Right. You're like, I want you.
Yeah, like I like him, but I don't know. He hasn't really shown interest in me. He hasn't been around me a lot, right? I haven't been exposed to him a lot. And then maybe we met up again later in life, and he was like, hey, girl, I remember you. You looking good, girl. Are you still married? No? Okay, let's get to know each other. And then we get to know each other, and we develop a nice, healthy relationship that is starting to flourish into something hot and beautiful.
I love it. Hot and beautiful. So good. Because I think a lot of times we treat money as if it were a person, we'd be like, come here. I want you. And then we'd be like, but it's not enough. And you're not good enough. And could you just lose 50 pounds? And can you also?
Yeah. So no, I'm embracing my old crush. I'm like, Yeah, you want me, I want you. Let's get together. Let's make some things
That's
happen. Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
this
I
ugly
love it.
duckling that's turned into a beautiful swan, and let's make some things happen.
I
So
love it. Every time
yeah,
that
I
ding
think
happens, celebrate, right?
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
So that's
Susie Orman was like the queen. Do you remember Susie Orman? Did you ever heard her?
I
She was like the queen of money coaching back in the 90s. Like she was way before all these current people. But I remember the one thing she told me that I remembered is like treat your money with respect and care and like always face your bills and have a nice wallet and like really care for your money and show it respect because kind of with the law of attraction, right? If we're always saying like I just want more money, I want more money, I want more money, all we're doing is saying we want more want. Like we're creating more want in our life instead of saying like I honor money, I love money, I love money for what it can do in my life and how I can be more generous and just really being grateful and treating it with care and respect. So much of the
yeah.
time we are like, get over here, I need more money. And then we're like, it's not enough. Or we
Yeah.
just physically treat it badly and emotionally treat it badly too.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if she had an idea that it would just be a bunch of numbers. I mean,
I know.
you know,
Now we hardly ever have cash. This was
hardly ever have cash. But yeah, I like that.
amazing. Yeah.
Because it does, it is to be respected because it can do good things for you, but it can also destroy you if you let it rule you and dictate every aspect of your life.
Yes.
And if you start to do questionable things and it just starts to distort your morals and your values, and if you start to do things to get it that don't feel good, because a lot
Yeah.
of people do, even in business. It's interesting as I bake my granola, like everything that I do with my business, I imagine that my customers see me. It's just me in my kitchen, but I'm like, my customers see me baking it. My customers see me bagging it. Like, and I only do things that I would want them to see me do and that would honor my product, my brand. And I wouldn't want them to say, oh my God, I can't believe she's doing that. Like,
Right.
I'm not buying that. You know what I mean? It's just, and all of that
Yes.
positive honor and energy and integrity goes into everything that I do. And I think that that's where businesses go wrong when they lose the morality and the value of what they do for customers and they just start to do stuff for money.
That's beautiful. I love that. Well, and I think it's a good way to wrap it up, but I think money just makes you more of who you are. So when you tap into your generosity, as I've done over the last year as well, it's like, I think so much of the time we're pushing money away because we think it's going to corrupt us or, I mean, there's a lot of religious pieces. Money is the root of all evil, things like that. But it's also like you can do so much more. Think about your African daughter, right? Like you can do
Yeah.
so much more when you have more money. You get to just be more generous.
Yeah. The first time because I told her, I said, if you need something, I want you to tell me because often she wouldn't ask for anything. And I would say, if you need something, I want you to tell me. The first time she asked me for something, it was her rent. And I said, well, I don't know about that. Now, how much is that? And then she said some 2,000 Rand. And I'm like, Googling, like, what does that mean? In American dollars. And then I looked it up. I was like, oh, girl, I got that. I got that every month if you need me to. Yeah, no problem. And it's just the value of American dollars in Africa. I can do much more for her than I ever thought I would be. And now that I'm able to just kind of bring in my network of people and say, I want you guys to help me help her because our dollar just goes so much further. I really hope we're able to do some really awesome things for her because she's such a wise young woman and she's so modest and humble and she's just so grateful for every little thing that she gets. And it's just, yeah, like you said, it's a beautiful thing. I look forward to the day that I'll actually be able to go there and see her or bring her here to see us. And it's just, I can't do that without money. So
Yeah. Money
absolutely right.
makes you more of who you are and allows you to be more generous and do more in the world. So my personal philosophy and you're all here because you are trying to start a food business is that let's not push money away. Let's figure out how to make more of it, do it with values and with integrity, and create more so that we can give more, so we can give to those causes and make the world better. Let's get money into the good guys' hands, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Get money into the good guys' hands. I love that. That's what we need to do.
Does this do you have like a link you could share? We could put in the show notes if people wanted to donate to her to contribute.
Oh, wow. I can do that. That's amazing.
All right. We're going to put the link to go and if you want to contribute in the show notes. Thank you, Erica, for just being open and transparent. I think it'll really be helpful for people listening. And we talked before we started recording that I think as you're more vulnerable and you are very gracious and generous with who you are, but everyone listening, like stepping into being a little more vulnerable in your business, it will benefit you. And
absolutely.
So I really appreciate you sharing
it'll pay off in ways you won't even recognize, and it'll give you so much peace again, because it's not even a religious thing or a spiritual thing. It's a universal law. You reap what you sow. Mm-hmm. So make sure you're sowing beautiful things so that you can reap beautiful things.
That's the beauty. Like when things are down below the surface, like little seeds, we don't know what's happening and we don't know the timing, and things can come up at all different times. But just keep at it. Keep doing it.
That's right. So I appreciate you so much for sparking this inspiration and challenging us all to be more generous. And you are the catalyst to making the world a better place. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, it's been so fun. Thanks, Erica.
My pleasure.
I would love to continue this conversation. You may have some thoughts and judgments about me, about my business. That's okay. You may have thoughts about Erica. You may have thoughts about any business out there. And that's okay. I picked up, I didn't buy it, but I took a photo of it. I'll post it on social media. But when I was in Austin, it said, "Your opinion of me is none of my business." I was like, yep, that's true. So we all have opinions and it's none of my business. But if you would like to share some thoughts, some of your money thoughts, and how this episode hopefully helped you, but you may have some different thoughts, that's fine. But you can share those over on our private Facebook group. I'd love to see you inside there. I want to continue this conversation on money because we need to get more money in the hands of the good guys, you. We need to get your product out there, and we need you running a sustainable, thriving, profitable food business. We're not running a charity. We're not running an expensive hobby. We are running a business. And I want to help you do that. And generosity is one strategy, but we also need a foundation of the right price product and the right pricing and the right marketing strategy. There is a foundation there. And generosity is one piece of it that I think will help you grow your business so much faster. Someone asked me, they said, well, generosity is great and all, but first we need to, have a good business strategy and a good business foundation. 100%. If we're losing money every time we make the product, that is not a good strategy to go out into the world with our business, right? So we need to have a good foundation. And I do help you with all of that inside Food Business Success, or if you work with me one-on-one. But then let's clean up our money thoughts and let's use the generosity challenge to help us kind of break free of that. Until next time, have an amazing week and go make a lot of money. Are you ready to start that delicious idea that you make in your home kitchen or grow your existing packaged food business and take it to the next level? The most successful food business entrepreneurs have support, guidance, focus, and accountability to help them make it happen quickly without wasting time or money. Plus, I think starting your packaged food business should actually be fun. Food business success is your secret ingredient to creating your food business dream. Please don't go this alone. Check out the private free Food Business Success Facebook group to connect with other foodpreneurs, get your questions answered quickly, share your wins, and receive special training and tools I only share inside the private community. Just search for Food Business Success on Facebook or get the link in the show notes. Curious about how Food Business Success can help you? Head over to foodbizsuccess.com and fill out the application to see if you're a great fit for the program. Together, let's make your food business dream a reality.